Well, thank you for joining me for another IT Wire and Alex on Tech video. I'm here today at Dynatrace Perform 2018, and joining me is Florian Ortner. He's the Chief Product Officer at Dynatrace. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Now, we just had a sort of a bit of a mid-afternoon break. The conference is still on, but before we go any further, can you please just remind us in a nutshell about what Dynatrace does in 2018 and a little bit about your role?
So sure, it's my pleasure. So at Dynatrace, what we do is we are seeing a transformation from a classical app-by-app monitoring approach, moving into more like a software intelligence world. So this is driven by new technology out there. So everybody knows, Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure, it's a Google Cloud platform. So all these public clouds, of course, are getting a lot of traction. At the same time, enterprise firms, especially in the health industry, governments, fintech and banks, for them it's not so easy, driven by compliance and privacy regulations, to just go public cloud. So what they are now adopting in a very enterprisey and huge way are private cloud stacks, the likes of OpenShift. We see Cloud Foundry with Pivotal picking up dramatically, and last but not least, there's Kubernetes. So everything is driven by containerization, by deploying microservices, by just being more agile and nimble. At the same time, automate everything so that the engineers have a happy life, and at the same time, customers have a great customer experience.
And from what I could see from the many presentations today was that people are really able to nail down the source of various problems they're having with their infrastructure and code and other areas, and Dynatrace is helping them pinpoint that and rapidly solve the problem.
Exactly.
So what's a little bit about your role?
Well, so everybody who knows roles like in product management, be it a director level or a chief product officer level, so it's a challenge of trying to strike the right balance between doing what customers tell us, although there it's often about, or always about, the use case. So don't tell us what to do, but what is your pain point, so we can task our team to think about how to help you the best. But then you also have the other balance, to keep the engineers happy, keep them productive, and just create a product that they also love. So we are big fans and believers of, there are different terms for that, drink your own champagne is maybe the more elegant way.
That's the one, yeah.
Another one is, eat your own dog food. So since we are now also, we morphed into a SaaS company, we have to embrace automation, DevOps, so we call it even NoOps, because we really want to make sure that automation is the centerpiece, as well as analytics. And this is the balance that in my role I have to strive for. At the one hand, deliver a product that customers find amazing and is really helping them. And at the other hand, of course, also keeping our own infrastructure up and running so we deliver an excellent service.
Now, I have your presentation and demo recorded in full, which people can watch as part of this video, but what are some of the key points of your presentation that you'd like people to walk away with and really remember, especially if they're only watching this video?
Well, since there's the full recording available anyway, I better not repeat what has been said there, but the tagline was more or less about the enterprise cloud. So enterprise usually means a lot of moving things, maybe slower moving things, but at the same time very fast moving things. So think about having a payment backend that is really successful and working really well, and then you create a mobile app. So usually you have sort of different speeds within an organization. And to be really able to execute that, I think this is why I talked about the enterprise cloud, and others talked about self-driving IT. It's really important to automate as much as you can, so that your teams can stay, or actually you enable your teams to stay agile, to stay productive, and also to stay happy. And this is more or less, between the lines, the message here. So everything is about automation, but not to get rid of, smart people, but actually to free them up to work on the things that are really driving the business.
Now, of the various demos you have today in partner stands, one of the demos is around HoloLens. You've already announced this in the past, and I'll be embedding your HoloLens video as part of the article that this video is going into.
Video.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing it. But just to remind us, how is Dynatrace using HoloLens to help your customers?
Yeah.
And I think we have one here as well. You can probably show it to us whilst can you just grab it there for a second?
Sure, yeah, happy to.
And there we go. The good old Microsoft augmented reality headset.
So I won't keep it on my head while I speak all the time.
Yeah.
But more or less, so why we picked something like a HoloLens is that we wanted to really make sure that our customers, partners, they also have something that they can grab and somehow they can use to explain what artificial intelligence and open APIs allow them to build. So this is more or less a reference implementation, you could call it this way, is using all of the open Dynatrace APIs. Thank you for that. So all of the open Dynatrace APIs that are available to every customer. Just the data is being consumed in a different way. So in this example, we're using augmented reality to, well, almost make what we do tangible and understandable to the average person. So suddenly it's like, oh my God, so this is my website or my payment backend. And so I get a click here, and then throughout my infrastructure, this is how the technical transaction moves. So usually it's a very techie and nerdy thing. If you talk to an average person, they jump out of the window because it sounds so crazy. But when they see it suddenly with a HoloLens, with this immersive virtual reality, at least they have a basic understanding, and they go, oh, well, that's really smart, amazing, and also it looks really good. So thanks to the team from the lab who actually volunteered and created that by themselves.
It's making the whole Johnny Mnemonic and William Gibson Neuromancer cyberspace reality come true. And I wasn't sure there if you looked like a member of Daft Punk or the Pet Shop Boys, but it looked very cool. And
so here, maybe if Microsoft hears us, there's room to improve on the hardware side.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Actually, any brief suggestions there of things they could do?
So we know that Microsoft is already working on the next gen version of this. So it's battery life, it's the size of the viewport,
visibility. Yeah.
So all the basic things. Like if you would compare it to the mobile phone, 5-10 years ago, you would say better camera, better screen, better this and that. So I think that's the same sort of
evolution.
Not infancy, but yeah, it's an evolution there too.
So is there, I've always got 3 questions that I finish with, but is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Dynatrace that you want the audience to really remember? Based on today's presentation or just things you've got coming?
Yeah, so at Dynatrace, we really believe in being open and in being nimble. So the message is more or less that Dynatrace wants to be the partner to travel along with you on this journey. So sometimes it's called digital transformation, others would call it just this journey into the future. So
continuous improvement as
continuous improvement, yeah. Or even continuous deployment in a more technical sense. So but Dynatrace, the whole team, their heart is really bumping or
pounding.
The heart is pounding for these kind of customers and problems, because the team is really self-motivated to solve them as well.
Now, you may have just answered my final question, but I always like to ask just about the future. Given the pace of change, the augmented reality we're seeing, the advancements in AI, how do you think the industry will evolve over the next decade?
The next decade is in our industry, feels like
a million years. Yeah.
So what we see is that there's now a lot of vision, especially in the heads of the business leads. So everything is moving away from the technical side of the house. Of course you need servers, of course you need physical or virtual services, of course you need many things, but what is now happening at the technical leadership level, be the CIO or CTO and also the CEO level, they really are starting to embrace the customer experience. And of course there you have like a technical part. So this is where I think solutions like Dynatrace are already providing a lot of value, but there's much more to come. But then there's this behavioral part. So things that you want to improve, but that you have to improve just to improve not the user experience from a technical point of view, but it feels better, the conversion rates go up, so all those behavioral analytics bits and pieces. So this is definitely one trend. And the other one is then simply to use and adopt AI everywhere. So AI is of course it's a tagline that really makes sense, and you can do machine learning and many other things, but now also this space is growing up. So I think people or companies will realize they have to apply many different approaches that would fall into the bucket of AI to actually address the various use cases in the best way.
Now, the conference is about to start again, but I always like to ask if you could share the best piece of advice you've ever received to help you get where you are today.
So from my point of view, it's be honest and nimble to not only your customers, but also to your friends and family. And the other one is simply stay to be a hands-on person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as I said, drink your own champagne or eat your own dog food, however you put it, because this keeps you grounded and this keeps you understanding what customers really need, because you know you're in some sort your own customer.
That's right. And I know you've sort of said this before, but any final messages for the viewers and readers and your customers and partners?
Well, I'd say I plan to say go Australia in the World Cup, but unfortunately by now they're already gone. But yeah, best luck in all the endeavors for you Australians.
Florian, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Alex.